All right, here we go. 5 o'clock hour. Ari is spinning the dials, running things here at Finley Toyota Studios. Wheeler Ramirez is the company. Big hour on the way. Lots of NFL. Steve Cofield on a Monday. I'm excited. I'm excited to find out what Willie's got to say. Seems like all the media has spoken up now about Josh Jacobs. Trade him or don't trade him. Let's do it.
Battle-Born Injury Lawyers presents the Big 5 at 5. Number 5.
So, hometown hero, Pete Rose, longtime Vegas resident, popped up in Philadelphia. If you missed it earlier, we played TV Bite when he went on the Phillies TV broadcast, and he dropped a strong term for wiener. Then he dropped an S-bomb. Not good. Not good. Then apparently during media availability, a woman decided to ask, this is a female reporter, not just some random woman,
right?
A female reporter decided to ask Pete Rose about the stories that are out a couple years ago that Pete might have been dating underage girls, not women, but like 13, 14-year-olds were the allegations. Pete responded with, I'm not here to answer questions like that, babe.
It was 55 years ago, babe.
Oh, there it is. 55 years ago, babe. All right. So what do we do here? What do we do here? Old guy.
Well,
old guy. Because Pete Rose is a fascinating topic. I was talking to someone on Twitter about 2 weeks ago who was trying to make the case that Pete should be in the Hall of Fame. Because what's wrong with betting on your team? And I responded, I was like, do we know that's all he did? Do we know that he didn't bet against his team? And the person was like, well, where's the proof? And I pointed to I think it was like a 2013 New York Post story. John Dowd, who certainly has some, there's some questions around him as well, but he was, part of the investigation. He thought that Pete bet against the Reds at times too. And I tend to believe him. I don't have any facts on that because you and I have both been around people who are problem gamblers. When you get in the soup, you do what you have to do to get out.
I don't think that you should, whether you're a manager or a player or anything, I don't think that you should be betting on the sport in which you are involved.
We've been through this a million times in 20 years.
Right.
If you're only betting on your team, then obviously those games are more important. That could change attitudes of pitchers, lineups, your bullpen.
It changes
it's an integrity
of
that game.
That's right.
It changes your mentality.
Right. It changes because you're thinking more about your bet than you are, even if you're betting on your team. So if you're betting on your team and you all of a sudden, your closer has pitched X amount of innings and his arm, and but you're thinking about your bet. Well, you may put that closer. You're going to be thinking more about your bet than you are the team, the standings, and that could wear down the health of your players. So it should not be a part of the game. It is a big deal, even if you're betting on your own team.
Is baseball making a big mistake if Pete passes on, they don't put him in the Hall of Fame while he's alive?
I think now on that note, I think he should be put into the Hall of Fame. If we're asking about the Hall of Fame, I think Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame, but I also think that Barry Bonds belongs in the Hall of Fame. So, you're just going to put them. I'm the asterisk guy. I'm the category guy. There's obviously a steroid era because let's be real, people. Those of you on your soapbox and the holier than thou PED stance. For every guy that's been caught, there are probably just as many that haven't been that are probably in the Hall of Fame.
Number 4.
Golden Knights with 2 young guys back in the fold. Busy weekend.
Solid. Signed up Keegan Colasar, signed up Nick Waugh, did what they had to do. Don't got a problem with either one of them. They're building blocks. They've been with the team. And, with the new regime in place, they obviously like what they've seen. They've had their meetings. They've made their discussions. McCrimmon locks them up. I mean, it's not It's not bad. I mean, I still not sure about the entire 4-line depth. If somebody goes down, you're looking at one of these guys to move up to the second line, potentially the first, because I want to know more about Mark Stone. I want to know where this, yes, I mean, he had something similar done to what I had done to my meniscus. They removed a portion and the recovery process. It's all recoverable, but there's still going to be those, the less cushion you have between bones, there's going to be some pain. So, I mean, I want to know more about this back injury. I think Eichel's fine because he took some hits since his neck surgery and recovery, and he was out there flying around. But the health of this team is important. So, I'm not writing off Keegan Kolesar and Nick Waugh as far as being able to fill in. I just don't know if they can, with the caliber of play that they're expecting from the top two lines, if they have to step up. But they're definitely legitimate signings and extensions. They deserve that, and I'm glad to see that they're back.
We were talking about training camps, Willie.
Yeah.
Earlier with UNLV football and Raiders and hell, week 0 in college football, like 19 days away. NHL training camps are not far away. We're looking at a little over 4 weeks.
Yep.
Exhibition games.
End of September. Early October. My final payment for my season ticket package is coming up.
Robin Leonard starts off the regular season on the active list. Give me odds.
Ooh. The yes and the no odds?
Yes. Correct.
Right now, I'm going to make it minus 115 on both sides.
Oh, really?
Yep. We haven't heard anything.
Would you like to bet that?
Yeah, what do you want to bet?
Minus 150. So we'll just straight up bet. All right, I'll take the no. We haven't heard anything.
Well, I kind of like to know too. I'm just
you
saying,
do?
yeah, because we haven't heard anything, and that's a little like we've heard updates with people that have had the surgery. Like we heard about Robin Leonard having surgery, but there's been no updates.
Right.
And he had something going on in the lower body injury, right? He had something. There were other injuries. I am not writing off anything that Frank Saravelli said just because Robin Leonard got snarky in press conferences. Because basically what he originally said came true. He had to have work on his shoulder. So whatever it is that he had to have done or whatever they felt was going on with the knee, hey, Peter DeBoer said he saw something where he was uncomfortable and he didn't look comfortable in net. And it took a couple games before that all came crashing down. So from top to bottom, I don't know if Robin Leonard's, and, once you get fixed up top, then you get fixed down below. Now you got to go through the recovery process. Well, one has to talk to the other. You got to be able to walk. You got to be able to lift. You got to be able to train.
Robin Leonard plays regular season games in November. Yes, no.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take the no.
Okay. We'll
come up with a bet during the break.
He's just got to play one?
Yep.
By November 30th?
I know you have a lot of time there.
No problem. He'll play one, and then they'll assess. They'll assess. I'm not saying now.
I should have reframed that. I should have said he plays a regular season. He starts playing regular season games by November 1st.
Like a rotation.
By November 1st.
No, I'm not good. I'm not
by November 15th. I'm really trying to make a bet here, clearly.
No, I want it by the end of November because
the end of November. Okay.
The preseasons, it starts at the end of September.
All right.
The regular, see, you're trying to finagle and be tricky. The preseason begins at the end of September.
We'll come up with a cutoff date. Listen, this could be an easy win for you. He might be out there in freaking preseason. I don't think he will, but might be. Right?
How about this?
You see, imagine he's out there like the second game of the preseason. You're like, I'm in.
Why don't
Cofield's an idiot?
Why don't you give me an over/under of games played? What would the over/under be for games played in net? 82 game season.
All right, we've tried to make this bet 3 different ways, but put it on the tease board. I'll give you a number on games played.
All
right. This will be a bet. I almost guarantee it.
Number 3.
God, we love to wager. I hope he's healthy. I want him to play. I hope he's healthy. I got to root for something because I got to tell you, my Nets, longtime Nets fan going all the way back to the early 80s. What is going on now? Kevin Durant, according to Shams, meeting with Joe Tsai, the owner of the Nets, Durant said, I want to be traded, and now here's the deal. If Steve Nash and Sean Marks, the coach and the GM are here. I want out. So that question we had all along, like, does he have a problem with Kyrie or not? So it's not Kyrie. He doesn't like management or the coach. Now what do the Nets do? This is a bad position. Talk about forcing a team into the corner. You think the Nets owners are going to fire the freaking coach and GM? This would be amazing. To keep KD around, this would be amazing if they did that.
I'm just wondering about that talk that they were all going to sit down and have.
This is it. This is it.
Kyrie said, well, we're all going to sit down together. Huh. Yes, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't care what Kyrie says.
Maybe they're
I don't
all
want the coach or GM to be here.
Maybe they're all going to get together to sit down so KD can fire them, and KD maybe he can be the first ever starting player, GM, and coach.
You know what's funny? Think about going back to the beginning of last season. We got on Kyrie for saying that he and Kevin could coach the team. They'd be fine doing it, and we're all like, "What? Get out of here!" I mean, have they been conspiring behind the scenes? Like, yeah, no, we really meant it.
Maybe they in their own, maybe they were paying attention too much to Athletes Unlimited when the ladies were out here playing, and it was a player-driven